Minnesota has 10 assists, so they're helping each other.
Kirk Penney has really not been a factor.
He hasn't, just 2 points, and obviously he knows he's got to come out and play really well in the second half to give his team a chance. He's also got to avoid further foul trouble. He, along with Charlie Wills, 2 fouls apiece as we start the second half.
Charlie Wills did not score and had 1 rebound, but only played 7 minutes in the first half because of his foul difficulty. So it's the Gophers basketball as we get underway here in the second half. Minnesota coming from 10 points down, now leading by 5. Ohio State a winner, so they're in first place in the Big Ten right now. Both teams have to win to keep pace. Minnesota game out of first, Wisconsin 2 out. Holman inside again.
Mader's got to play him a little more aggressive and not allow him to just walk into the post like he's been doing. Obviously, when he gets it in the post, he's a big problem for Wisconsin.
9 for Holman, and again that trap which really bothered Wisconsin. Minnesota staying in its zone.
They've shown a lot of zone, maybe more zone than man-to-man, but the zone has kept Wisconsin out of that paint area.
8 on the shot clock. Mader almost traveled. Davis a long 3. Mader get a hand on it. Gophers run it down.
They've got 5 on 4 right now. Wills late getting back.
Fleming gives it up to Bennett. Minnesota with a 7-point lead. Matches their biggest of the game. Twice Wisconsin led by 10. Fleming open. 3-pointer.
Fleming has given this team a big lift in this game with his outside shooting.
And Greg, we said in the first half, Minnesota has been decidedly a better second half team. They've been averaging in their last 6 wins 50 points in the second half.
They make great adjustments at halftime. Figure out what's necessary and go to it.
Mader miss. Rickard rebound. Gophers up 10.
No offensive rebounding at all for Wisconsin.
Holman lost, recovered, and a reach in on Mader, his 3rd personal. Greg, it's amazing how this game has just completely reversed itself. Wisconsin was in control for much of the first half, then got into foul trouble, and then Minnesota also really turned it up defensively as Mader is out and Mike Wilkinson is in.
Now, certainly for Wisconsin, no time to panic. They've shown before that they can come from behind and win on the road. Did it at Michigan State when trailing by 10 later than this in the game, but they need to start getting something going right now.
Rickard missed. Reichert the putback.
Minnesota's hitting them in every way possible now. Offensive rebounding, they've got the outside shot going with Holman. They've got the interior presence. And this zone has been pretty much unsolvable by the Badgers.
12-point Gopher lead. Wills almost threw it away. Inside, Wilkinson with a jump hook. That's a big bucket.
And a nice little entry pass into that post area by Davis. Kept it low. Wilkinson was posting very nicely in there.
10-point Gopher lead. Early here in the second half. They have played almost 3 minutes. Rickard, a great shooter. Missed that one. And Penney had it. Couldn't hang on. He thought maybe he was bumped. Gophers maintain.
Well, what's happening as I see it, you've got Minnesota much more aggressive. So they're really pushing Wisconsin in underneath that basket, making it tough for them to get a defensive rebound. You cannot rebound effectively from underneath the backboard.
How do you stop that?
You got to start getting aggressive yourself and not let yourself be pushed around if you're Wisconsin.
This time, Penney down with it. Gopher lead. Wills. On and out. Gophers fought amongst each other as Bennett and Reichert have it go off their hands. Is it just a case now of aggressiveness?
I think a tone has been set. Maybe you've got a few Wisconsin players a little bit afraid to offer too much contact, especially a guy like Wills who knows he needs to stay on the floor right now, and Penney both playing with 2 fouls.
pass off the screen. Again a miss. Rickert the rebound. His 5th. 10-point Minnesota lead. Holman on Wilkinson.
Once again, what did Holman do? He walked right down into that low post area without resistance. Camped down, and they got him the basketball. He is hurting Wisconsin big time.
11 for Holman. Minnesota up a dozen. And now the Gophers get called for the reach-in.
Minnesota personal 21, Travaris Bennett, the second.
It'll be the second on Travaris Bennett, who's been playing with a sore ankle this week. They miss him, Greg, because he provides such a spark defensively.
One of the best players in the league defensively.
Leads the league in steals, does Travaris Bennett.
Will's looking inside, trying to get an opening, battling against Holman. They need to get the ball inside, either to him or off penetration from this little guy.
Open is Penney. That's a big triple.
Sometimes the game's easy, isn't it? Penetration, you kick it out. Now the onus is on the outside shooter to knock down the shot. Penney knows that he can get that done.
Well, that gives Penney his first triple of the day. And traveling called on the Gophers. So now Wisconsin starting to claw its way back in it. And they're going to need a lot more of this from Kirk Penney as the Badgers now trail by 9.
Lance, what's the story?
Hey, Dan, sorry. Thought everybody left for the night.
Can I get you an energy bar? How about some water?
No, man, I'm okay.
You good?
Thanks.
All right.
ESPN News is your source for college hoops.
Visions of March Madness.
ESPN News brings you inside the game with unique features you can't get anywhere else.
We have an update from college basketball now.
ESPN News brings you all the upsets with our bonus coverage.
Oh, this game is in need of in-depth analysis.
Once the game goes final, you get all the live post-game reaction in our post-game extra. Plus a bottom line that never goes away. Make ESPN News your home for everything to do with college hoops.
The games that became classics. The athletes that became legends. The moments that became history. They're all on ESPN Classic. Explore the best in sports history through programs that take you inside the game, the life, the moment like no one else can. Call 1-800-CLASSIC and experience ESPN Classic.
A building full of maroon and gold as the Gophers at home leading the Badgers 43-34. Kirk Penney and Charlie Wills, two key men in the Badger offense, have been held in check. As Wills still hasn't scored, and Penney, after that 3, now has 6. Some way the Badgers have to get them more involved, Greg.
Especially a guy like Wills, who over the last 4 games has been averaging 17 per. They need that. And Penney has been consistent all year as well.
Badgers have to first get it across the center line and just barely beat the 10-second count.
That has been an issue more times than just a few in this game.
This trapping zone that the Gophers have used has really been a difference maker here today. It slowed Wisconsin considerably. Penney not there that time. Rebound Holman.
Shot was a bit flat, but still no offensive rebounding presence for Wisconsin.
Minnesota's now out-rebounded Wisconsin by 7. And away from the ball, an offensive foul on the Gophers. It'll be on Rick Rickert. It'll be his second and the second team. There are the numbers that we talked about, but they haven't been there today. Ooh. And part of that was that Charlie Wills sat out 13 minutes in the first half when he picked up 2 personals. But we haven't seen Wisconsin, Greg, get into sync offensively since Minnesota went to the zone.
Exactly. The zone has been a problem.
open is Harris. Rebound Bauer for the Gophers.
The zone is netting them an outside shot. A lot of times it's been an open shot, but they can't hit it.
They're not getting any of that either. Rick Rickert with an easy one.
And when Minnesota's not committing an offensive foul, they're getting exactly what they want down low.
One thing, too, the zone has done is taken Trevon Davis out of this game as far as he was a difference maker the first 10 minutes of this game.
Right.
This is Davis with the ball. 15 on the shot clock.
Wisconsin doesn't have anybody slashing in against that zone.
Holman with a block, but Wilkinson could hustle to keep it.
It would help if they could get someone cutting in, maybe trying to get the ball on the slash. They've gotten a little bit of penetration out of Davis, but, you know, he can only do so much.
That foul on Hargrove.
They'll need to figure it out because I can't imagine Wisconsin coming out of the zone.
Well, fans, join us for the 2002 Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament in Indianapolis. Action begins Thursday, March 7th with the championship game Sunday, March 10th. Tickets limited. Don't delay. You can log on to www.ticketmaster.com or check your local Ticketmaster listings to charge by phone. Trevon Davis has a good look, but it's just not there right now.
You better make sure you got a good look and a high percentage shot because you're only getting one.
Badgers may need another timeout. Minnesota with another easy one.
Yeah, you're getting one shot and only if you're Wisconsin, and then getting beaten down the floor on 2 consecutive trips now.
Wisconsin shooting 32% from the floor, Greg. Uh-oh. Burleson with another steal. And a rebound for Penney. Wisconsin fortunate that time. Penny wide open. And a big three for Penny to cut the deficit to 10.
The reason they got that is they played good defense and then came back down the floor with numbers and moved the basketball. So maybe transition and letting the defense key your offense might be a remedy for what's happening with Wisconsin right now.
Rick Rickard with a miss. Holman went over the back. And that foul on Holman will be his second, the fourth on Minnesota. Still a long way to go. This Dusty Reichert in for Rick Rickard in the Gopher lineup. Reichert has had a quiet day for the Golden Gophers. The senior averaging 14 points, 7 rebounds a game. Freddie Owens into the Badger line.
21 Bennett in for Minnesota.
Minnesota 12-1 in this building this year. Their only loss, shockingly, to UNC Wilmington. No Big Ten team has come into Williams Arena and walked out with a win this season.
This would be big if Wisconsin could get a basket here psychologically, get the deficit under 10. Maybe they can gain some momentum off of that.
Penny with another three. Rebound Reichert. Burleson pushing it up court for the Gophers. Open is Reichert. The knuckleball won't go. But a save by Bennett. Running it down in the corner for Minnesota. Bauer overshot Reichert. It'll be Wisconsin's basketball when we come back. Still 11:37 to play. Gophers with a 10-point advantage.
Do you like the conditioner and shampoo in one?
Well, yeah, you know, I do, but it does leave my hair a little oily and dang it! What is wrong with you idiot? This is not a toy!
Easy, Bobby. He's sensitive.
What if he tore it up? I can't believe.
You've got some big ones, my friend. I didn't think you had it in you.
Scratch here. There's a dent over here.
Barkley for three! 27-year-old Steffi Graf, Wimbledon champion. The Super Bowl most valuable player is Troy Aikman. 1 second on the clock. Dallas touchdown.
We know we've got some of the best guys in the business, and a lot of the credit has to go to our outstanding recruiting program.
We can't promise that you'll anchor the first year, but what would you say to your own cubicle? What would you say to your own desk?
If you blow your larynx or your lung because you shouted too loud, then the company will pay for some of the hospital if you have to go to the hospital.
Salisbury steak Mondays, all you can eat.
Pizza Wednesdays.
Pasta Friday.
Legal pads, paper clips.
How about staplers?
I can check on staplers.
11:37 remains. Minnesota leading Wisconsin 47-37 as we take a look at Shooting the Rock, brought to you by Rolling Rock. Grab a rock. Minnesota obviously out shooting the Badgers today, and they've done that all year long. Minnesota second in the Big Ten in shooting. Wisconsin 8th.
But that was Wisconsin's challenge coming in, to figure out a way to make Minnesota have to work for its baskets, keep the scoring down. Minnesota, the top scoring team in this conference. Although over the last 3, Wisconsin's been pretty good at 77 points a game, and that went against the top 3 defensive teams in the league. Ohio State, Northwestern, and Indiana.
Well, the Badgers led 2 different times today by 10. Davis inside with a floater, hit nothing but the backboard. Bennett falling, jump ball call. Possession arrow favors Wisconsin.
Well, it wasn't a good shot. It was not a good shot by Trevon Davis, but he stayed with this. He followed the basketball and got a tie-up. Right there. Yeah, he may have committed a little foul, but hey, guy's 5'11".
Dan Munson is saying, why are they getting a fresh 35? He feels like there should not be a fresh 35 because that shot never hit the rim.
That's a good point. And they got to talk about this.
11:02 to play. Dan Munson's Gophers up 10 as our crew of Sid Roadheffer, William Bush, and Rick Hartzell discuss it.
What they're saying is that there was a change of possession.
Okay, you tell Dan Munson that because he's not buying it. His dad, of course, a legendary coach in his own right at Oregon and Idaho. And were you at Michigan State when Don Munson was an assistant to Jed? 2 years. 2 years?
2 years. He was a fantastic assistant coach and then showed what a good head coach he could be. And then now his son following in his footsteps and doing a magnificent job.
We've had a chance the last week to talk to Don Munson at these games. And when you talk to him with his personality, you can imagine what it would be like to be together with Jed Heathcote and of course Don Munson.
Oh, it was a riot all the time until it was a riot all the time until it was time for practice or games. And it was the other end of the spectrum.
Judd Heathcote and Don Munson, best of friends. They both live in Spokane now. And Don Munson will say, I'm watching the game on the satellite of Minnesota as the Badgers inbound it. And Judd will call me on the phone and say, what is your son doing? Old coaches never change.
Oh, yeah.
So the Badgers with 25 on the shot clock and just under 11 to play. Minnesota lead. Penney with the open look after a good fake and a whistle and a foul. And Penney will go to the line.
That was an excellent pump fake because he's got his defender out of position. Penney able to take a hard dribble to his left, elevate, and he's going to get free throws. I believe just 2, not 3. Fouled on the shot.
And to shoot 2 is Penney.
You get a sense that Wisconsin needs to make them move right now because Wisconsin is Minnesota's hit a little low here. It's almost like they're waiting for them. But at any point, Minnesota's capable of going on a scoring binge.
It's an 8-point game now, 47-39. Minnesota had led by 13. 10:30 still to play in this one. Jerry Holman now with 3 personals for the Gophers, so he has to be careful. Badgers turn over the Gophers.
That's 3 turnovers, make that 4 turnovers, and perhaps the last 6 Minnesota possessions. So they're waiting for Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's got to get it going on this end.
Badgers have not had many easy baskets this half. They've done a lot of this, play catch with it around the perimeter. 13 on the shot clock. Penney Mater whistles it off to Davis. Davis penetrates, finds Harris. 5 on the shot clock. That's a tough jump hook by Harris. Gophers with good defense again.
Might I offer, Wisconsin may want to think about putting Penney in the middle of that zone. If you can get him the basketball in the middle of that zone, you got to feel like he could make a good decision. Either get his own shot or dish it to somebody for a better shot.
High low and a whistle. That foul, a holding foul. And Dave Mater just picked up his 4th personal.
I believe anytime you're going against zone pressure, you have to have somebody in the middle who can handle the basketball and do things with it.
Dave Mater was such a force early in this game, but foul trouble now is just taking him out of it. Bauer with the ball.
It's another offensive foul. It's going on Rickert.
Wow. Pushing
off in the post. That's 5 turnovers in maybe the last 7 or 8 possessions.
That's the second on Rick Rickert. 6th on Minnesota. Wisconsin with only 2 team fouls this half, but they're both on Dave Mater. Davis has to hurry. Just did beat the 10-second count.
Incredible. How many times that has nearly happened? And it did happen once in the first half.
And again, Wisconsin just playing catch with it. A long way from the basket. Penney off the screen. Oh, what a big triple.
That was helped by a screen. Charlie Wills set a nice one for him, and now we've got a 5-point game that's interesting again.
Wisconsin has shaved 8 points off the Gopher lead as Minnesota has gone 4:25 without scoring. Still 8:45 to play in it. Minnesota up 5. This is Burleson. I don't know about that shot. As Dan Munson shakes his head in dismay.
You know, it's funny how you're playing, you're grooving, it's comfortable, and then all of a sudden your opponent starts to make a charge, a run at you, and then you become unglued. That was not a good shot by Minnesota. Lack of patience. I think Minnesota has their attention, or excuse me, Wisconsin has their attention again.
What a streaky game, Greg.
Yeah.
On both sides. Wilkinson to Penney. Another triple for Kirk Penney, and he has brought the Badgers to within 2.
Hey, he realized how important he was to this team, and he is playing like it. He is answering the call here in this second half.
Kirk Penney with 17 points.
Now all of a sudden you got a tentative Minnesota team.
Burleson the miss, tipped up by Reichert. It doesn't go. Last touch by the Badgers.
Ron Davis, he has left the court.
And when you leave the court here, you tumble about 4 feet. Wisconsin, with that kind of aggressiveness, has gotten itself back into the game. Davis is okay, and the Badgers are still alive.
Every athlete has a story.
You just knew you were in the presence of greatness.
A story that inspires.
He was winning Wimbledon with one hand, then fighting the ills of this world with the other.
That brings us together.
When Magic announced that he had the AIDS virus, Bird broke down and cried.
And defines our history.
Jack and Tina were thinking. He said, this is America.
These are their stories. This is the award-winning Sports Century, 8 p.m. weeknights on ESPN Classic.
It's touchdown, Miami. Elio Castro-Neves has won the Indianapolis 500. David Duval has done it. A major champion.
They were out of their seats before the program ended.
Raymond Moore, a dream, has control. Right to the end zone, touchdown.
Run to March is on. Get it all on ESPN Full Court. It's maximum college basketball with upcoming key conference tourney action and women's NCAA tournament games. Get the huge late season games you want at a special reduced price. Hoops heaven from the people who live and breathe college basketball. ESPN.
It's good!
ESPN Full Court only on pay-per-view. To order, call your local cable company, DirecTV at 1-800-DirecTV or Dish Network at 1-800-333-DISH.
Arizona State left the desert, headed for Westwood today. Check out Tommy Smith here. Nice baby hook. Good touch right there. Early on, Arizona State leading UCLA 19-14. Tom?
All right, thank you very much, Mike. We've got a dandy here as Kirk Penney, Greg, has had 2 different games.
Well, in the first half, he scored 3. Here in the second half so far, he scored 14. Many on these type of opportunities. But he's got a rhythm going, and Minnesota had better get a guy on him on the catch.
Minnesota with the basketball. They had led by 13. Wisconsin twice in the first half, led by 10. This is Bauer, a good shooter. And that's a huge triple.
Well, it was Bauer who gave him a lift when they were struggling offensively in the first half. He comes out of that timeout to give him one now. That's huge.
7 for Bauer as the three-point shooting has kept Wisconsin in this game. And the Badgers will shoot the 3. Penney on the drive, missed the layup, and Bauer with the rebound. That was too close for Kirk Penney.
It's almost like you've got 4 Wisconsin Badgers on offense watching Penney now. Because they watched as he drove that time and no one made a move to the glass.
Penny down with it. Wisconsin had a game against Temple this year. They took 43s, 20 of them by Devin Harris.
He said he had a conscience.
Jump hook Wilkinson, missed it. Rebound Bauer. Wisconsin's had 2 good looks and not finished. This is Reichert. And just like that, the Gophers surge.
Well, they came out of the timeout with a renewed purpose, patient, getting what they want.
Trevon Davis posting up, gut bump. And he'll go to the line. Now, one thing to keep in mind with 6:18 to play, Wisconsin's in the bonus the rest of the way, and the Badgers have only committed 2 team fouls. So they have some fouls to give should it get to that point, Greg.
They can still be aggressive defensively. And now that you're in the bonus, hey, take advantage of it. Get the ball inside and then go aggressively to the basket. Otherwise, it makes no sense being in the bonus if you're Wisconsin.
The senior, Trevon Davis, who, as Greg mentioned earlier, understudied Mike Kelly for 3 years, finally getting a chance and got that second one. Still 6:18 to play. Minnesota with the ball up 6. Fleming offensive foul. His second. Wisconsin's ball. We greet you today from Williams Arena with another full house on hand in the 74-year-old building. With Greg Kelser, I'm Tom Hamilton. Wisconsin with the ball down 6, 52-46 with just over 6 minutes to play. Davis almost traveled. Out front to Wills, who still hasn't scored. Wilkinson against Rickert. 2 freshmen. Tough shot, and it didn't drop for Wilkinson.
Minnesota has no reason to hurry here. Run your offense. Be patient.
This is Rickert. Fleming didn't shoot it that time. Now he does. Rebound, Charlie Wills. And the Badgers still hanging within 6 with 5:20 to play from Williams Arena. Penney, who's scored 14 this half. The lob overshot Charlie Wills.
Well, that time, Wills was trying to establish post position. He was being defended.
Substitutions for Minnesota, number 40.
And
12, Burleson.
he wasn't allowed time to get firm in there before Penney tried to deliver the basketball. Penney should have taken a little more time. Wills having just an awful day.
Freddie Owens.
Can't seem to get it going.
Dave Mader
Isn't it something how early foul difficulty in the first half can set a tone for a player?
That's a great point. I mean, it just takes you all out of it. He spent 13 minutes on the bench. No chance to get in rhythm. And it doesn't seem like it's going to happen in the second half.
Minnesota with 5 minutes to play has the ball, leading by 6. Burleson, great look. Holman. And he got the bounce and the foul. And Mader just fouled out.
The extra pass is what does this. Right there. The bounce pass from Burleson. And a guy who's been playing well all game, in my estimation, especially on the offensive end. Holman is able to get inside, foul Mater out of the game, and give his team a three-point opportunity here.
Dave Mater, the pride of Appleton East High School, had a terrific start to today's game, but then foul difficulty wiped out his efforts. And the Badgers have not found a way to contain Jerry Holman. The Minnesota junior now with 13 points will be at the line to try to make it a three-point play. Minnesota up 54-46 with 4:54 left.
Well, you lose Mater and his big 6'11" body. But Wilkinson's probably a better, not probably, Wilkinson is a better offensive player right now. They need to get some offensive productivity.
Really, nobody else on either side now is in foul trouble. Holman the closest with 3. And the Gopher fans make their presence felt. A 9-point Gopher lead.
Big sequence here, one way or the other. Minnesota looking for a stop so they can get it back into double digits. Wisconsin hoping to avoid such.
Inside after Wilkinson penetrated. Davis got clobbered and he'll shoot 2. And Wilkinson out front just took it to the hole and dished off.
Hey, you're in the penalties, take it inside. It doesn't matter who gets the shot, just go aggressively. You don't have to worry about being aggressive when number 2 has it, Davis.
Heads up play by that freshman Mike Wilkinson, and Trevon Davis, a 65% free throw shooter, will shoot 2 critical ones right here.
At the roll, I thought it was going to be short.
Every free throw he has shot has used all of that rim. Davis has had a big day. He got all of those rebounds in the first 10 minutes of the game. He's short again, but it dropped over after it hit the front of the rim.
He's playing it that way, I guess.
55-48 Minnesota. 4.5 minutes to go from the Twin Cities. Rickard inside to Holman. Fouled on the way up. Wilkinson picks up his 3rd, 4th team. And Holman, not a good free throw shooter, will shoot 2. But again, Greg, he's getting the ball 5 feet from the hoop.
He's been active. He's been a big target. And he's making them pay for not fighting him for that interior slot.
Minnesota with 4:26 left, leading by 7, and Holman will be at the line, where today he is 2 of 4. You see his numbers? Too strong on that. Into the Badger lineup, Kirk Penney. Wisconsin 8-5 in 4th place in the Big Ten. Minnesota in 3rd place at 7-4. Both chasing Ohio State, which won at Iowa today. The Buckeyes now 9-3. Indiana is playing later on against Michigan tomorrow. Indiana will have to win to stay in a 1st place tie with Ohio State. 8-point Gopher lead, 4:15 left. This is Penney. Penney. Kick out to Wilkinson. Short. Wilkinson follows. He feeds Penney. Davis can't start anything. Harris. Just nothing inside. Davis passes it up. Penney wide open. Oh, my!
That extra pass in basketball is a killer. It looked like Davis was going to shoot it, but that extra pass, and you had a wide open Kirk Penney.
20 for Penney, 17 this half. Minnesota with a 5-point advantage, 3.5 minutes to play. The overplay by Wilkinson, ahead to Harris. We've got a 3-point game.
Minnesota keeps hurting itself with these turnovers. And Wisconsin, they won't quit.
No.
They certainly had every chance to.
Rickard on Wills. The freshman with a huge jumper. Gophers back up 5 with 3 minutes to go.
That's a big basket. Clutch basket. Stealing some of the momentum by Minnesota. By Wisconsin, excuse me.
Inside, Wills got his first bucket of the game. Greg, this is like a Frazier Muhammad Ali bout. Both have been knocked to the canvas. Both have gotten back up.
It's been a thriller.
Rickard with a miss. Rebound, Penney. Wisconsin with the ball, trailing by 3. Penney, the floater goes, and it's a 1-point Minnesota lead. Kirk Penney with 22, 19 this half.
Kirk Penney doesn't want to lose. Can you tell?
Yeah. Minnesota calls a timeout. Take a deep breath, folks. This one is going to be a doozy right to the finish. The pride of New Zealand has brought the Badgers back.
Hi, I'm Jeff Kent, and I'm here to talk about ESPN the magazine. You know, when they first asked me to do this, I was pretty excited. They could have had just about any athlete. So to choose me is really something. It's humbling to be able to give something back. So all you young players out there, listen up. ESPN the magazine is only $1 an issue. They'll even throw in a free fleece.
That's right, Jeff. When you call 1-800-504-6644, you'll get 26 issues for just $1 an issue. So call 1-800-504-6644.
Thanks for listening to me.
There's only one neighborhood where the legends compete in the greatest games in history, ESPN Classic. Only ESPN Classic has the greatest games from the NFL, baseball, NBA, NHL, NASCAR, and fights from the largest boxing library in the world. Call 1-800-CLASSIC to get all your favorite classic sports. Plus, Sports Century, the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning series that profiles the top 50 athletes of all time and beyond. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my...
Thanks. Digimon is like a different group, wholly separate from the Pokemons.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Sure.
Northwestern Penn State underway from State College. Aaron Jennings gets in the paint. Nice spin. And he hits the shot. It's 11-7 Cats early on. They're trying to get to 6-6, Tom.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yeah, Northwestern and Bill Carmody. What a story they have been. Well, Kirk Penney has brought Wisconsin from 13 down. Wow.
It's incredible the ebb and flow that this game has had. Wisconsin has had 2 separate 10-point leads in the first half. Minnesota fought back, and now we got a 1-point game after Minnesota had a 13-point lead. Unbelievable.
Bottom line, Greg, these two teams are both deserving of the NCAA tournament. Rickard on the drive, and the Gophers back up 3.
Seems like each time Dan Munson gets them over there for a timeout, they come out and execute well offensively.
We're under 2 minutes to play. Every possession is critical now.
It's just a one-possession game.
You know who Wisconsin wants to take the shot? That man there. Penney inside. Wilkinson scores. Cuts it to 1.
Now they're spreading the floor. They're getting inside opportunities. There's balance. I think Kirk Penney provided a lot of this because they had to go out on the perimeter and contend with him. So he's helped stretch that defense.
Minnesota up 1. 1:20 to play, 20 on the shot clock. Holman looking low, holding down low on Wisconsin as we look at the BMW Ultimate drive of the game.
Well, Burleson coming down with the basketball, slices through the defense, gets all the way to the hoop, is able to kiss it off the window and get the roll.
Charlie Wills picks up his 3rd personal, the 5th on Wisconsin. And we've got a timeout, still at 1:10 to play. Minnesota up 1. We'll have the ball to inbound when we come back.
Now, your first source for round-the-clock sports news is even better. The new ESPN News. A brand new look with the enhanced bottom line that's always on and lets you know what's ahead. Constant score updates and live in-game stats. Highlights, news conferences, analysis, and more. The new ESPN News is here.
You know,
We at ESPN were always complaining about how there weren't any good places for sports fans to eat.
Look, it's a hairnet, it's the law, all right?
So we opened ESPN Zone. Non-stop sports coverage. Tons of cool games. And really terrific food.
He got it. She got it. They got it.
But really, ESPN Zone's a place where everybody, even Grandma, can let loose. Booyah! Have fun.
There's a place.
Harry Rice is the touchdown scorer of the century.
A place for discovery. And a place to remember.
Thank you for touching us all.
It's a place where your heroes never retire.
This one's for John.
The place is ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Minnesota on top 60-59 as we look at our best play of the game, brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Well, this was out of a timeout, and it's Dusty Reichert hard to the hole, knocks it off the glass, and that, at the time, gave Minnesota a 3-point lead.
Gophers with the ball, a 1-point advantage as we near the 1-minute mark. Wisconsin still has a foul to give before Minnesota's in the bonus. Rickert spinning. Rickert at the block, almost basically by the underside of the backboard. Badgers down 1. 45 seconds left. Penney with a left hand.
Wow. Kirk Penney will not be denied in this game. Moving well without the basketball. That was tremendous, and the bounce pass in stride.
Wilkinson with a tremendous pass as Penney slashed inside.
I mean, you know, sometimes players don't want the basketball, but this guy, Penney, has been demanding it, calling for it all second half, and been delivering big time.
Kirk Penney with a 3-point play. Wisconsin up 2.
Wow.
Penney has 25, 22 of them this half. Reichert down low, Holman. Holman for the tie. It tipped out. Run down by Davis with 25 seconds. Penney ahead of the pack. Badgers by 4.
This is a 2-possession game. I thought they might pull it out. Now Minnesota's got to hurry down. They've got to get something quick because they're going to need another possession.
Burleson the miss. Penney with a rebound. Wisconsin's ball. Penney has taken over as the American Century on the money player of the game. Is there any doubt?
Woo. This is incredible performance by the junior Kirk Penney. He would not let his team lose. He would not let it happen.
He gets 2 free throws, double bonus. It's still a 2-possession game, even if he makes both. But Greg, for a team that was down 13, to come into this building and potentially be the first Big Ten team to win here this year.
The thing that's so amazing is that they were showing no signs of this.
No.
None whatsoever. But then Kirk Penney got a couple of jumpers to go, and then all of a sudden, the tide turned big time. Minnesota has hurt itself, though, with turnovers. They need to rush it up the floor very quickly.
5-point Badger lead, but the clock is rolling with 7 seconds. This is Burleson. Inside Holman scores, and a timeout by Minnesota. It's now a 2-point game. Beg your pardon, 3-point game.
Minnesota takes a timeout, 30-second timeout.
Today's Big Ten game has been brought to you by American Century, managing money for individuals and institutions for over 40 years. Citgo. At Citgo, we enjoy basketball as much as you do. Citgo, we know you. BMW Test Drive, the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW center. And by Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires, drive on.
3.5 seconds left. Wisconsin, the length of the court to go, leading 65-62. Badgers in the double bonus. Minnesota still not in the 1-and-1, and Wisconsin all of their timeouts.
Right now, Minnesota's got to get a quick foul. They can't allow anybody to get free. Glue yourself to your man so you can foul immediately and serve the time.
Charlie Wills, the inbound man. And again, Wisconsin can call a timeout if they have trouble. The inbound to Kirk Penney. He is fouled with 2.3 seconds left. Kirk Penney, if he can make just one of these two, should seal the deal.
Yep. It's over because Minnesota will use up whatever time is left getting it inbounds and across half court.
It's double bonus, so he'll shoot two. Penney with 28 points, 25 this half. There's your ball game, folks. Wisconsin, which stunned Indiana and Michigan State in their own building, is going to get maybe as big a win here today, Greg. They're still in the Big Ten hunt, and this should just open the door wide open for an NCAA tournament bid.
You know, this is the best second half performance I've seen by an individual player in a long time in college basketball. Penney just took this game over and made it his.
Badgers up 2.3 seconds left. And Wisconsin will go to 9-5 in the Big Ten with 2 home games left against Iowa and Michigan. Minnesota would slip to 7-5 in the Big Ten.
Penney shooting for 30 points after having just 3 at halftime.
How about that? A stunning reversal here today. Wisconsin down 13 with 12 minutes left in the game. And Bo Ryan's Badgers get one of their biggest wins of the season. For Greg Kelser, this is Tom Hamilton. So long from Minneapolis as we take you to Mike Gleason. Michael?
All right, thanks, Tom. A great job. So the Wisconsin Badgers knock off the Buckeyes in overtime. They go into Bloomington, and they beat Indiana on Wednesday night. They turn around and hand Minnesota their first